So I ordered a Smartykit computer construction kit in late, well, and actually on the 7th of August, 2022. Been really excited and really in two minds about whether to order one or not. Because I've been wanting to build my own homebrew, and I've been playing around largely with the Z80 processor. So this is Ben Eater's clock circuit, which I put together, and was trying to have a bit of a play with the Z80. But and so this is what I've been wanting to do, and I've been collecting a whole stack of peripherals and memory chips and everything, all Z80 based. But anyway, my curiosity got the better of me, and I can't really help myself. So of course I ordered one. And as I said, I ordered this on 7th of August 2022 with the idea that I think it was supposed to be late 22 delivery. And of course that time came and went, and it wasn't delivered and wasn't delivered and wasn't delivered, and there were all the chip shortages and all the joys and everything that goes with that. So it eventually arrived, I think in the beginning of August 2023. And then I was away on holiday for a couple of weeks and couldn't do anything with it. And so just getting back to it now. So it took almost to the day, I think, a year to arrive. And I will say as well that Smartykit was amazing with their correspondence. If I sent them a message or asked them how things were, they were right on it straight away. When it was being delivered, they updated me with information, let me know, answered my questions. They really were superb with their communication. So that was great. It was $299 for the kit. Obviously, shipping of £35, which from Europe to the UK is fairly expensive, but I'm guessing also not huge quantities. Millions of items going out, which tends to push the price up. And then, of course, there was an £80 duty cost on it due to the thanks of Brexit. So I'm not sure who to send that bill, but of course this cost me an extra £80 to get into the country. So not cheap at the end of the day, but probably not bad for the base price of $2.99. So let's have a look. I haven't opened this yet. This is going to be my first look. Comes with nice instructions on how to open it. Which I should probably follow. Of course, this was made in France, and I'm guessing it's a French company, so everything's in French. Hoping the manual's not in French. So, there's a thing out my way. Aha, here we go. Let's open this up. There we are. All right. And inside is a much smaller box with the kit in it. So, right. So if you don't know about it, it is an Apple I compatible kit. So this is the first Apple that there was put together. And I did work on an Apple II for a little bit in a little bit of college that I went to. And other than having an iPad and things like that, I'm not much of an Apple computer person. Just because from where I grew up in South Africa, and for prices and things, the ZX Spectrum and ZX81 and that sort of thing was the affordable solution, and what certainly after a paper round and lots of pocket money savings and birthday money savings, I managed to buy myself a ZX81. So I kind of got into the Z80 processor side of things, which is why I was wanting to do a homebrew with the Z80. So it's, what does it say on the back there? So there's a picture of it. So obviously it's a breadboard based computer, but they have made the breadboard side of it a little bit easier, where they've got separate, we'll open this up in a moment, but you've got separate pluggable boards that plug into the breadboard, and then I think you're really just wiring it up. So what is it good for? It's a good match for Apple fans and enthusiasts. Well, software developers who want to understand how computers work. So I'm a software developer, do know how a computer works. I have done a fair amount on that, but I'm hoping to learn a bit more out of this. Those who want to start a career, Silicon Valley tech startups, teenagers who like tech, spend too much of their time on devices and screens, families and friends, and school kids and so forth. So what will I learn? How an Apple One works, and what the main parts of a computer and smartphone are, what the processor is and how it works as a computer's brain to execute software code, what memory is and how it works, and how a keyboard works, and how video controllers work, and how video signals is formed, and how simple operating systems work. So it sounds very exciting. So now the next thing is, how do we get this open without breaking it? I guess we pull the sleeve off. I must say it's nicely presented. I do like the it's all, so far, packaging is good. It's all cardboard, which is nicely recyclable. Aha! The journey is the reward. Let's get started. I like that. There's a scan for the instructions. So we'll have a look at that. Oh, I tell you what, if that's not DIY, make it electronics, nerdy porn, I don't know what is. So what have we got here? We've got the CPU. Obviously this is Apple, so it's CPU, RAM, ROM, various AND gates, buffers, decoders, high-res video, ordinary video, keyboard controller. So this is quite interesting, and this is one of the things, and I think this is one of the things that makes retro computers a little bit harder these days, but also in terms of trying to make it accessible to people, is that a lot of these things, not the buffer so much or the decoder, but these three over here in particular, are actually much more complicated than what you're seeing over here. So if you look in closely over there, you'll see that these are Atmel chips. So this is an 80 mega, can't quite see that, but it looks like a 6832, so 6832 and 6832. So these are processors themselves that are going to be handling that side of it. So it's going to be interesting to see whether they go into the code of what they've done here, but of course this is a software solution to a hardware problem for those three chips. Latches, registers, decoders, and register. And then these are the individual plug-in boards. So these are going to go into plug into the breadboard, which is quite interesting as well, because you could potentially make, I mean, you could wire this up through a perf board or something as well. So everything's very labeled, obviously. Memory decoder, ports decoder, shift register, high-res video keyboard computer, video controller, keyboard port, 7 bits port, 7 bits, bit 7 port, bit 7 ports. We'll see what that is. ROM and RAM and one, and the CPU over there. AND gates and NAND gates. And then you've got some various stickers for the chips, so we can put those on the chips themselves. And then, what does it say here? Carefully cut here. I shall do just that. Right, let's go have a look at the hidden layer underneath. So what have we got here? FTDI cable for driver updates. So that is your USB to serial or serial to USB card cable. RCA video cable, male to male. So that's going to plug into, that'll be your video, your composite video. So you've got your RCA video connector, an address bus and data connector. Got a few components, so those will be so LEDs there. You've got a couple of crystals there. These are caps. I wonder if they are really just decoupling caps. I suppose if we look at these, there's a decouple. There's two decoupling caps on those boards, but these ones don't have decoupling caps on them. So I'm guessing they're want you to put that into the breadboard. Very saucy. There's 2 crystals and a self-contained oscillator there as well. Oscillators, crystals, LEDs, and buttons. Didn't see the buttons. Ah, yes, there's some buttons. Module display frame, standoff spacers, and screws. That's display frame. TFT. Now, of course, obviously, I mean, this is part of the display side of things. In fact, I think I've got one of these in another project. A 2.8-inch low-res display TFT. And of course, this is one of the things that is that in the if you're going to build this with original Apple parts, Apple One parts, you wouldn't be driving TFT displays with it very easily. You can do this kind of thing because the display driver is an Atmel processor, and the Atmel processor can drive that very easily. And I think this is going to be one of the main differences for me, is that when I'm doing my own homebrew, I'm not going to be doing any other processes to do video display and things like that. I want to be able to do all of those out of discrete logic or something, just to add to the fun of it. We've got battery holders and connectors, and loads of jumper wires, which looks good. And then in this last little hidden compartment over here, we have a whole stack of beautiful breadboards. Look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? So there we go. That is the unboxing of this. I think it's going to be interesting. Obviously, it doesn't come with a big manual, so we'll head over to the computer in a moment and just have a look at that. But it looks good, as I say. It's a lot of it's done for you. A lot of it is a lot easier because of the Atmel processors to handle these complicated functions over here. And if you look at the ZX81 or the ZX80, ZX81, the real heart of this computer is actually the ULA, not the Z80 processor so much, because this chip, which is essentially like an early day ASICs and chip in a sense, but this has got a whole lot of custom electronics in it that handles the timing and handles the video display, handles the analog into the tape deck control, handles the memory timing, it handles absolutely everything. This chip is actually the heart. And in fact, the ULA is what's driving the microprocessor. So this is just running code. But this is actually controlling all the peripherals and everything that goes with it. So, I mean, that's kind of what they've done here. And so this is how Sinclair got this thing to be so small, because they could do a single chip here. And you'll find ULAs in the BBC micros and things like that as well. I'm not sure whether Apple IIa did a similar thing at that point. The Apple One wouldn't have, I don't think. So these chips are really covering a lot of what happens in that chip. So it's okay to be able to do it like that. But I'm really excited to put this together. We'll go over and have a look at the instructions and see what we have there. So here we are on the web page for Smartykit. Don't just consume technology, own it. Well, why not? Buy now button, Xenon, Hacker News, Colton Mac, Apple Insider, Wired, so forth. Sergey, the founder and CEO. So there he is, looking very proud. So this is the one I bought. Interested to see it's $300. Now mine was $299, but I think it was an early buy right in the beginning. So probably not crowdfund, but early bird anyway. And it's also probably why it took so long to get to me. They've also got the exclusive limited edition, which I can't see any particular difference other than it has rather nifty looking black breadboards. I mean, it's a bus board 830 inside, and I think the other one, is also a bus board 830 inside, which is just the high quality, decent breadboard. So this is $666.66. And I'm not quite sure, other than the black breadboard, I'm not quite sure what else is different on here. So let me know in the comments if you know. There's a product demo. That's basically what I've shown you already in the beginning of this video. There's a child busy putting it together. Something from Andrew Bosworth, who's the CTO. Right, so that's the front page. What have we got here under the catalog? Looks like they do a single board computer as well. I didn't see that. It's sold out. It's much cheaper at $149. Probably much the same thing, but same video, CPU, RAM, logic, but it's on a single board. There's no, this is not a breadboard one, and it might be. I wonder if it's already made. It does say it's a kit, so I'm guessing you do have to solder it together. And then obviously the one I bought and the exclusive one. Tips and tricks, yes, need a multimeter. Y strippers, yes, micro cutters, long nose pliers, cutting mats, and all the rest of it. So not much under tools and tips and tricks. But yes, I think anybody who's wanting to build anything should have these basic tools. Then under the instructions, we have this. Please start to watch the video below. So there's a video and ask us to register your kit. It's interesting that there's no form or register or account or anything on here. I've just got to send them an email. So I have done that. There's no serial number or anything that seems to be on there. So I've just sent them an email saying, hey, please register. I'm hoping that get extra access to extra material for assembly. I'm hoping what they mean is this schematic, because I can't find a schematic or any of this documentation in the box. There's no documentation in the box. Whoa, hold on there. Hold on to your horses. I got an email response back from Smartykit, as usual, very fast to respond. And of course, there is a GitHub. Obviously, there's a GitHub. And here it all is. Thank you very much. So there are the schematics. Download those. Nicely laid out, I think. We've got some WASPi here. I have to go and look to see what that is. We've got some machine code here for Hello World. We've got ROM. Whole lot of ROM stuff in here. Garage ASCII art, emulator ROM, POM at least. Whole lot of stuff in here. We've got controller drivers for the high res. There's terminals. So yes, it is Arduino. So the Atmel processors that do the keyboard and video are at least partly, if not all, Arduino, which is great because that means it's going to be accessible to a lot more people, which is good. So there we go. There's the advanced keyboard, video driver basic, video processor, bit of machine code there as well. So there we go. That's fantastic. It's all here. This is going to be a lot of stuff to go through. They've also said that they've sent me an invite to another system that has more information on it. So I'm just waiting for that to come through. Might do an update on that one. But there we go. It is all there. Of course it is. There's an instructional video on YouTube. I'm obviously not going to go through this. It's 2 hours worth. This will take you through step by step, I guess. And there's a start here, which takes us through assembly progress, milestones, the current step you're on, hide and show different parts of the scheme, and the components show up on the breadboard. So this looks really nice. Obviously, as you go through each of the steps, it's going to show you where on the breadboard to put things and how to wire it up. 202 steps in approximately 10 hours, and I'm sure I can get it done in less than that. We'll certainly try. Quick start terminal, CPU, memory, I/O post, and computer. I'm also guessing, and it might be in this section over here, that obviously there's a whole programming side to this. So once you built this thing,
it's probably going to come up with a monitor or a basic interface that allows you to input some code. I'm assuming it boots up into basic. I don't know, but I'm not seeing any of that information here at the moment. So I'm hoping that's the sort of stuff they're going to send me when they send back the register email. So again, I'm going to set this up on my tablet, and I will go through the process and see how we build this, and that'll be great fun. I see there's a Discord, so I'll definitely join that. And there's a parts list. The modules, 16 modules, 25 components, 661 wires. Goodness me, that's quite a few wires. So the video controller, the display, keyboard module, PS2 connector. That's also your keyboard connector. I don't think there won't be a mouse in here, but just a keyboard because it's not a graphical interface. 6502 module, gates module, and so forth. So we'll see how that goes, and I will post another video probably when I finish doing it. I don't think I'm going to video the whole thing of me building it. I might do, I don't know. But when I have something more to show you, I will post it. So until then, I'll be busy, and I'll see you then. Cheers.